Okay, I want to slow things down a bit. I want to think about how we learn, how we used to learn. I mean, maybe even before we knew how to think, before we knew how to troll. Although I do love a nice trolling. Imagine a child, a toddler, looking at the world safe in the arms of their loving parents. Let's call that home base. They're not quite sure, but their curiosity of the world gets them to leave that safe and familiar place. It gets them to sort of walk towards that furry animal sitting on a park bench. And what happens next? Assuming that the furry animal doesn't bite them, of course, they put out their hand and they experience furry animal slobber for the first time. Running back to their parents. They've just learned something. Maybe it's as simple as that. Well, if only it was that simple. Obviously, we're adults. We need to act like adults. We need to behave like adults. And we need to talk like adults. And as adults, we know that furry animal slobber is not something to get excited about. And by the way, before you yell at me, for all you dog lovers, the same goes with cats. Now, let's rewind that because I want to pose a question. What would happen if that same child approached that same furry animal sitting on that same park bench, and as they put out their hand, instead of receiving a sloppy licking, I think you know what I'm getting at. There's a certain frustration that happens when things don't work out. It's annoying. We get mad. And often we look at the thing that hurt us with disdain. And even though we have all had that happen, I want to know how it was like when things did work, when things flowed. Let's go ahead and open up the graph. As of day 3, the shared graphs are still not populating in your graphs list, which I'm well aware of. But by pasting the URL into your browser, you do have full access. It's annoying, I know. So let's fire up Rome, and let's go to our page. Before you start writing, I want to show you something. First, I'll hit the semicolon twice to pull up day 3's template. I'll add the current time to practice that habit. And now I'll focus on the block by clicking on the bullet point. If you remember the 5 fundamentals video I posted the other day, fundamental number 1 is the daily notes page, and fundamental 2 is indenting or nesting. And because we are in a shared graph, we're mimicking the daily notes page with how the template looks. But I want to focus on indenting right now. Hopefully the CSS shows you what I mean. You have one train of thought here, and you have another train of thought here. And if you're familiar with, say, Dynalist or Workflowy, what I'm saying right now is not going to be something new. But on Friday, I'll get into why how Rome does this is rather interesting. But for now, I want to show you one more thing, and that's this idea of summarizing. Let's do this. What happens when you follow the breadcrumb back up one level? And another level? And another level. Now we see the whole page. If you hover to the left of the bullet point, you'll notice a downward caret. Let's click on that. Okay, that collapsed the bullet and that big wall of text. The arrow in the bullet point will indicate that that wall of text is now hiding behind that one block. And if you click on the caret, and if you click on the caret one more time, and if you click on it again, and again, and again, ooh. Okay, I'm over it. I'm going to keep it closed for now, but obviously having a summary of what's inside that collapsed bullet would be helpful. I'm going to expand the bullet one more time so I can see the whole wall of text. And this is what I like to do. I'm going to read through what I wrote in order to summarize what's inside that wall of text. Nice. Now you're ready for the guided writing exercise.